Vidar and Catherine Ligard are the founders of SafariMission.org. Vidar Ligard is also the author of A Fork in the Road, a book that gives you life lessons you were not taught in school and that the church did not tell you. And that is what Safari Mission Podcast is all about, teaching practical steps to personal growth and development. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Vidar and Catherine Ligard.
Well, we are back. And in the house today, we have Bishop Paul Ngandi. Years and decades of ministry experiences. He has built actually a couple of different denominations, bishops over different church fellowships, 13 churches right now, wonderful family, wonderful kids. Everybody's involved in ministry together with him. But not only knowing how to build churches, but also knowing how to build businesses. And I think that's a great combination that we see, Bishop Ngandi.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show today.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Reverend Vida. This is a great opportunity. And I want to say that God holds us responsible to do spiritual part of our lives as well as the financial and the physical life. The Lord has given us opportunities. When we see opportunities, it becomes very easy for us to even support our ministry and support our families, and without even becoming angry with your congregation, I would say. Yeah.
Now you mentioned something here. You mentioned opportunities.
Yep.
And I know that you're from Kitui County. It's a semi-arid or mostly arid. It's a very, very dry land.
Yes.
I have been there many times. I've actually spent quite a good number of months in Ukambani.
Right.
And usually you talk of opportunities. Very often the conversation goes towards water and complaints about the lack of water.
Yeah.
But yet there are opportunities. Can you tell us about some of the opportunities that you're seeing in this area where many of the people around about are not really, they have excuses or they have limitations or they have arguments as to why there are no opportunities in this place?
Yeah. Reverend Fida, you're saying very true. What you're saying is very true because I come from a semi-arid area where ideally we don't have enough rain. But I want to surprise you and tell you, from 2015, I've never bought food for my family.
Since 2015, you have never bought food?
Since 2015, I've never gone to a shop to buy food. I grow my own food in a 3-acre piece of land.
You grow your own food in a
Yes.
3-acre piece of land?
Yes. This 3-acre piece of land, I bought it from a gentleman that never harvested 50 kilos of corn, of maize. Never at one given time. So when I was buying this piece of land, the corn were growing to height of about 2 foot, and that was all. So I come into this land, and I prepare the land, made some trenches, cut off, trapped water, and then I began to, and I dug into that hard soil. It became soft, and I started planting. And the first time I harvested 9 bags of corn. The second one, 10.
And these are small bags?
90 kilos.
90 kilo
90
bags.
kilos of bag.
These are some big, heavy bags.
So in the following year, I did 10 bags. I do 15. Now I do between 15 and 20 bags of maize. So
15 to 20 bags of maize.
yes.
So you start with 9 bags. That's almost 1 ton.
Yes. So I don't buy food. I've never been to a shop. I grow my own vegetables in the home. I don't buy vegetables in the market because I realize the vegetables that are there in the market, sometimes they are sprayed with a lot of chemicals and they would affect you. So I grow mine at home. The kitchen water that is there, just use that. You grow your vegetables there and you're good to go. You can feed your family with your vegetables. So these are opportunities. Kitui is blessed. It's a hard place. The rain could be not like in central Kenya, but we are blessed. God has strategically placed us in that place so that we can see the opportunities. Kitui produces the best honey in the world. Research has been done. We produce the best honey in the world.
I don't even need the research report. I've tasted myself.
So there is no reason. It doesn't cost much to prepare a beehive, and keep it. You can keep your beehive anywhere, and that's good. You can be selling honey anytime you do harvest. Honey harvesting is done twice per year.
Twice per year.
Twice per year.
One hive produces about how much?
Close to 15 kilograms.
15 kg from one beehive.
Yeah, and if you have the improved kind, you can go even up to 20 or 30 kilos.
15 kilograms. This honey is sold at 1,000 shillings a kilo?
Yeah, sure, 1,000 shillings. If you get it cheapest, even when it goes down, it can go below 600, 700. So you are good to go. We produce the best honey. Recently, I met a friend of mine from the US, and he was telling me research has been carried out, and we produce the best chicken, traditional chicken in the world. Particularly, they come from Wingi, where I come from.
Mm-hmm.
A very dry area, but we produce the best chicken. So if we produce the best chicken, why don't you keep 10 or 20 or 30? And you are sorted.
But now to keep 10 chickens, you need a PhD in husbandry?
No, not really. You don't need any experience, actually. It's something that you can know. And the traditional ones are very resistant to diseases. So you don't need a lot of drugs to treat them.
Mm-hmm.
You can just grow them free range around your home, and you are done. We have done actually chicken even when we were housed in a plot where we didn't have space. We would keep chicken, about 10 or 15 of them, in a controlled place. We feed them there. They stay there. They give us eggs there. So even in a place where you're very controlled, you can keep them, and you will not disturb the rest of.
So you're saying even if somebody doesn't have land,
yeah,
that should not be an excuse for not doing anything.
Sure.
Now, one of these chickens, how much do you buy one chicken for?
The traditional ones are very expensive. They range between 700 and 1,000, 1,500.
Now, this is when you buy them as a chick?
Yes. No, when you buy them as a chick, you're buying them at around 100.
100?
Yes, about 100 shillings.
So if you want 10 chickens to start a small little farm, you need 1,000 shillings.
Yeah, 1,000 shillings. And actually, they have gone up now. They used to, like when we started our poultry farm, we were buying them at 90 shillings. Now they are 100. Sometimes you can get them 110. So with 1,000 shillings, you can get 10 of them.
10 of them?
Yeah.
And one egg sells for how much?
They are quite high now because they are going to, I think, 15 or 20 shillings.
20 shillings.
Yeah.
And one chicken lays one egg per week?
Per day.
So in 1 month,
yes,
it's 30 days,
yes,
30 eggs,
yes,
15 shillings per egg. In 1 month, that one chicken will produce 450 shillings.
Sure.
And you bought the one chicken at 100 shillings.
Yes.
And so the opportunity is beyond amazing.
Sure.
Because you're just talking a few weeks
Mm-hmm.
to recoup your whole entire investment and make money off of that investment.
Sure.
So the opportunity is there.
The opportunity is there. And, I was doing research, and I found that in 2019, shortly before COVID, Kenya had 30 million laying birds.
30 million
birds against 45 million Kenyans. Now, when COVID hit, that number went down. We are talking about 20 million birds in Kenya right now.
20 million birds.
When we are 50 million. So the opportunity to sell eggs is there. Even if you had 1 million birds today, you will sell your eggs and they will go out. So it's a great opportunity.
Now that's fucking chickens, which is not like a dairy farm where you have to go and milk this cow twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of work involved.
Yeah.
But is the work really heavy? If you keep, let's say, 100 chickens,
Mm-hmm.
how much do you have to work every day to keep 100 chickens?
With a good preparation of the poultry house, you don't need to do a lot. You're just giving them, keeping water there, giving them food in the morning, and you go away. You come in the evening to collect eggs. That's all. Nothing else. You're
A
good.
little bit of water, a little bit of food in the morning.
Yeah,
You come
sure.
in the evening and you collect the eggs.
Sure.
And with 100 chickens, about 100 eggs per day, 90 eggs per day.
Yeah. Go with 90 eggs per day. So 90 eggs multiplied by 20 shillings.
That's 1,800 shillings
Right.
every day.
Right.
Just for giving some chickens some water, a little bit of food, and
Yeah.
go to collect eggs. And
Right.
of course, you have to sell these eggs.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
It sounds like a easy deal. Now, why don't everybody do this? It sounds so easy.
The mindset.
The mindset.
The mindset. The mindset is the problem. We have a mindset. I think we have a mindset that money cannot come from chicken. No, chicken is commonly known like work that is done by ladies that have no other business to do at home. But there is business in chicken.
But you're talking of almost 2,000 shillings per day.
Yep.
That's better than most employments.
Sure.
And only 100 chickens.
If you do 100 chicken, and every 100 chicken cannot fail to give you 10,000 shillings every month, or 20,000. Because okay, my math is with 1,000 chicken, you cannot fail to have 100,000 shillings net.
100,000 shillings
every
net
month
with 1,000 chickens.
With 1,000 chicken, you have 100,000 shillings net every month. So, what kind of a salary would you're even being paid better than a graduate from the university. So the opportunity is there. And you don't have to begin that big. You don't have to begin with 1,000. You can begin with the 200. You can begin with 100 and grow progressively, and you find things are working. So the opportunities are there. In our place, there are a lot of opportunities. Like we produce the best citrus fruits in Kenya. Mangoes, talk about mangoes, talk about oranges, talk about lemons. We produce the best in this country. And we enjoy fast lunch. And then you ask ourselves, why don't you have 10 plants in your farm, or 20 of them, that you can water comfortably, and they give you some good income?
You know, I have a friend of mine that works in real estate.
All right.
And he says that the best time to buy real estate is 5 years ago.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting.
The second best time to buy real estate,
yes,
is today.
Right.
And when you start talking of an orchard, mango trees or fruit trees, or
right,
you know, if you plant a mango tree, you're not going to have mangoes in 2 months' time.
Right.
With a chicken, you might have some eggs in just weeks' time.
Yes.
But a mango tree takes, is it 5 years?
Okay. The new breed, which is the grafted, will take about 18 months, 1.5 years.
1.5 years.
Yes, 1.5 years you'll have mangoes.
Well, that's amazing, because if I understand about mangoes correctly,
yeah,
planting of the tree is done in a day.
Yeah.
Even an hour.
Yeah, sure.
It's a relatively simple thing to get a tree planted.
Yeah.
And then from there, you don't collect eggs every day. You don't feed the mango tree every single day. You may have to make sure that there is some water,
right,
and maybe a little bit of fertilizer once in a month or once in a while or something like this.
Yes.
And so it's a very low input work-wise, and yet you can have mangoes in 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Sounds to me like the very best time to plant a mango tree is 1.5 years ago.
That's it. That's very true. A friend of mine is a teacher, and during COVID, there was no school. People sat down for 1 whole year. This friend of mine went and bought a big shamba that's about 10 acres, and he did 200 mangoes.
200 trees.
200 trees. As we talk today, in fact, I talked with him last week and he tells me he's doing his second harvest this year. So the 200 trees are able to give him 1.5 million shillings every year.
1.5 million shillings a year.
1.5 million shillings every year. This, he tells me, the TSC wanted him to go for marking. He didn't go for marking. They're going to pay him 80,000. He has done 1.5 million. Why should I go and waste my time there marking? He didn't go. He was selling his mangoes. So that opportunity, when we were sitting down and doing nothing during the COVID time, that is a time he planted the mango trees. And now he's harvesting, and he's going to harvest like that the rest of his life.
Because the trees are planted, and these trees will produce for
Yes.
10, 20, 30, 40 years.
Sure.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. So opportunities are everywhere. So what do you say to people that there is no water, the land is too dry, the government is not doing something, my MP should be helping me? What do you say to these people?
What I can say is that, and especially people in the church, people that pray, people that hear God, we are supposed to ask the Lord to open our understanding, that we may see opportunities that are there because they are there. And secondly, we are not supposed to wait for the government to do anything to us, because basically the government doesn't help you to do anything, except we pray that God is going to give us peace in the country, that we don't have war, we don't have anything that is destabilizing us in terms of the peace in the nation. Otherwise, the rest of the work is our work. And once you pray and God opens your understanding and you see an opportunity, you move forcefully into work. And definitely, you must, anytime you work, the Lord must bless the work of your hands. So I would tell my friends that there are a lot of opportunities in our area. That Kitui seems to be, sometimes we have been pictured like people that are dying of hunger and eating dogs, that kind of a thing. I've seen it in media, but that's not true. Kitui is very rich. We are wealthy. We are only supposed to see opportunities, make use of them. Even the little rain that is there is able to give us enough food. And we are sorted.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting you're talking about the rain, because I did a little bit of research myself, and I checked on the amount of rain that Kitui and Mwingi and these areas are getting per year. And I checked with Central Valley, California in the U.S., right? Central Valley, California in the U.S. actually gets less rain than Mwingi.
Okay.
So the place is dry.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, central and the land area of Central Valley, California is approximately 10% of the land area of Kenya. So you can compare it to, maybe take Kitui County and you add Kajiado County,
right,
maybe Makueni, add those three counties, is not too far away from the land area of Central Valley, California. And these tend to be drought-stricken areas of Kenya, but yet they have more water than Central Valley. Now, Central Valley in California produces all the nuts, the fruits, and the vegetables for 50% of the U.S. population.
50%.
So half of the population, it's amazing. That's 150 million people that it supplies all fruits, nuts, and vegetables for 150 million people.
Wow.
At the land area of 3 counties in Kenya,
yeah,
but it's 3 times the amount of people as we have in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And yet that land area gets less rain than Kitui, Makueni, Kajiado, but produces more. I mean, they can supply Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda
mm-hmm.
from these 3 counties.
Yeah, well.
That's the opportunity that is there.
Wow, that's great. That's wonderful. Oh,
but the Central Valley, they've done something. They conserve the water,
yeah,
and they have carefully made sure that they irrigate properly, so that all these fields, they get sufficient water to have citrus fruits and nuts and all these other kinds of vegetables that they grow in this particular area. So the same can be done. So, and I think you've touched on something, this mindset of finding solutions to problems. There is not much value in identifying problems. Anybody can identify. Even a homeless person can talk about the problems that we have in Kenya. Every nation has its problems, and every homeless person can say, this is a problem, this is fine.
Sure.
But finding solutions to it and then taking action to those things, whether it's poultry farming or it's honeybee hives or whatever else that we put our hand to do.
Sure.
As we find those solutions and don't allow setbacks to become hindrances, but we find answers to the setbacks and we keep on moving forward. There is answers and there's provision and there's blessing for all of us.
Sure. That's very true.
Thank you so much for all your wisdom. Thank you for bringing all of this into our show. And we wish you God's best and God's blessing for you and your family and your church and all the businesses that you're involved with.
Thank you very much, Reverend Vida, and thank you for everybody that is seeing us. There are opportunities. Don't miss them. God bless you.
God bless.
Well, that's it for today. Watch out for our next episode with teachings from Vida and Catherine Ligard. Like, share, and subscribe to our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages at Safari Mission. You can also visit our website www.safarimission.org or call us at +254 74 1777 805 to know more about Safari Mission and how you can get yourself a copy of Vida Ligard's book, A Fork in the Road.